This is episode number 277 of the Middle Country Public Library podcast. Hello and welcome. Sal DiVincenzo here with my fabulous colleagues, Sara Fade.
Hello.
And Nicole Rambo.
Hello.
How's everyone doing this week?
Great.
Just a quick bit of housekeeping. Next week, we start our summer program registration.
Yep.
Tends to be a popular time of year for programming. Mm-hmm. So just keep an eye out for your quarterly. If you're a patron, you should have gotten it already. If not, you can view it online at mcplibrary.org. Mm-hmm. But the children's and teens register next Thursday.
Yes.
June 8th, right? 9:30 a.m.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
The adults, the day after, June 9th, also 9:30 a.m. You can do that online, via telephone, or come down and visit us. We'd like to see you. So with that out of the way, why don't we start with Sara Fade? What do you got this week for us, Sara?
Wait, do we have any notes from Greg?
No notes from
He
Greg.
didn't listen yet?
I don't know if he listened or not.
Great.
Maybe he was so embarrassed that he's trying to say something.
I mean, come on, Greg. Don't you cannot have anything more important to do than listen to our
Take a
pod
break from winning your Emmys
and
give us some
Peabody's
feedback.
Yeah, no.
Poor Greg. He didn't ask for any of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, he fell down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
What you got, Sara?
So June is National Pride Month.
Okay.
And so I thought I would talk about some books that we have at the library that have been recommended on several lists that I found on the interweb.
Okay.
That might be of interest to anybody. Because a lot of times, people should be allies, or if they are. Yeah. Because one person's struggle is every person's struggle, is how I see it, right? I shall talk about some of these books, right? So one book that people recommended is called Here for It, or How to Save Your Soul in America, Essays. We know how I feel about essays, but...
I was just about to say.
We just had this discussion.
Yes.
What, last week? The week before?
Wait, was it on the pod? Or was
Yeah, it was on the pod.
Oh,
yeah.
well, sometimes I don't remember
like
where
2
the
weeks
conversations
ago.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Author is R. Eric Thomas. We have it. The call number is 818.603, Thomas. And just a little bit about this is... the author didn't know he was different until the world told him so. Everywhere he went, whether it was his rich, mostly white suburban high school, his conservative black church, or his Ivy League college in a big city, he found himself on the outside looking in. In essays, he by turns hysterical and heartfelt, Eric redefines what it means to be an other, in quotes, through the lens of his own life experience. So that should be good.
It's not a full story, though. It's just a bunch of short
Essays.
stories
So little
put together.
bite-sized chunks of information for you.
And if you want to listen to that other episode, it's 2 episodes ago where Sara lost it.
Yeah.
I did not lose it. I just said I don't care for sure. Anyway, Burn the Place, a memoir by Ileana Regan. Okay. We have that. It's 641.5092. Regan is the call number. Okay. So this was published in 2019. A singular, powerfully expressive debut memoir that traces one chef's struggle to find her place and what happens once she does. Burn the Place is a galvanizing memoir that chronicles Ileana Regan's journey from foraging on the family farm to running her Michelin-starred restaurant, Elizabeth. The
Good.
restaurant's name is Elizabeth.
Good for her.
Her story is raw like that first bite of wild onion, alive with startling imagery, and told with uncommon emotional power.
Like getting the bill at the end of your
At
meal
the end
at
of
Elizabeth.
yeah. Okay,
Very
the
emotional.
other book you might want to read is called Real Life. That is fiction, Taylor, and it's written by Brandon Taylor. And it is a novel of rare emotional power that excavates the social intricacies of a late summer weekend and the lifetime of buried pain.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, almost everything about Wallace, an introverted African-American transplant from Alabama, is at odds with the lakeside Midwestern university town where he is working toward a biochem degree. For reasons of self-preservation, Wallace has enforced a wary distance even with his own circle of friends, some dating each other, some dating women, some feigning straightness. but a series of confrontations with colleagues and an unexpected encounter with a young straight man conspire to fracture his defenses while revealing hidden currents of resentment and desire that threaten the equilibrium of their community. The next one we have is called The Art of Showing Up, How to Be There for Yourself and Your People by Rachel Wilkerson Miller. And that is 158.2 Miller. And this is a modern roadmap to true connection. First, by showing up for yourself, and then for others. If you're having trouble connecting with those around you, know that you're not the only one. Adult friendships are tricky. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Part manifesto, part guide, the art of showing up is soul medicine for our modern tech-mediated age. Rachel Wilkerson Miller charts a course to kinder, more thoughtful, and more fulfilling relationships. And crucially, she reminds us that you can't show up for others if you aren't showing up for yourself first. Learn to fearlessly define your needs, reclaim your time, and commit to self-care. Ask for backup, meet and care for new friends, and gently end toxic friendships, and help your people feel more seen.
I feel like that's popular on Book Talk. I definitely heard that book shows up a lot on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah. So there we go. So that's
Very good. And you'll put those in the blog for people to link to?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to do that.
That blog.
Yeah, the blog,
The beautiful
right?
blog.
It's a beautiful blog that only I click on, apparently.
Folks, you have to visit the blog. It's blog.mcplpodcast.com.
Mm-hmm.
Sara spends a lot of time making it look very nice and writing all the articles for it. So you have to go there.
Yes.
You gotta get the SEO.
Exactly.
Oh, I know. I put I just tag Pedro Pascal and everything. Everything I like. I'll be like,
Just put it in the title.
That'll be yes,
Pedro
Pedro Pascal's
yeah.
MCPL podcast blog featuring Pedro Pascal by Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you, Sara.
You're welcome.
Also, if you're listening on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. Okay, we stalled. Completely stalled. Like literally like hit a wall, stalled. We might have even lost a subscriber. I don't know why you would do that to us. Yeah, but yeah. If you're,
And if you're on Apple Podcasts, review.
That's right. If you're on Apple Podcasts, we want a review.
This is why people unsubscribe.
Yeah, exactly. This moment right now. This is it. You can see it. Nicole, what do you have for us this week?
Okay, so I have people who you might think were real, but they weren't real, and people you might think were fake, but they're actually real. So I'll quiz you. Is Mary from Mary Had a Little Lamb a real person or not?
Absolutely, positively.
Sarah?
What?
It's my next door neighbor.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a lady, Mary, who had a lamb, so yes.
Yes. Mary Had a Little Lamb is a real little girl. Mary was indeed a real person, and she did, in fact, have a little lamb. Mary Sawyer was born in 1806, and her lamb followed her to school one day around 1816. When Mary arrived at school, she wrapped the lamb in a blanket that she placed at her feet until it made a noise, informing the teacher of its company. John Rollstone had just arrived in town and witnessed Mary sneaking the animal into school, so he wrote a poem about the incident, and delivered it to Mary. There you go.
There you go.
So Mary is real, and her lamb is real.
And incidentally, that lamb was dinner about 3 weeks later.
That lamb became mutton.
No. The Quaker man on the Quaker Oats. Sara's
Isn't that Benjamin Franklin?
favorite meal.
Was that Benjamin Franklin?
Yes. Oh, yeah,
No.
exactly. Benjamin Franklin.
No, Benjamin
yes.
Franklin's on the $100 bill, not the Quaker Oats.
Yes.
box.
I don't know what Quaker Oats you're buying, but
He
it's not
looks
Benjamin
just like
Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin in my mind.
Sure.
Holding a kite with a key on it.
Eating his oatmeal.
Yeah, well, that's probably why he has to eat oatmeal, because he got fried.
I am going to guess no. I think some advertising agency person.
No, he's not an actual
All right.
person. His image is that of a man dressed in the Quaker garb, chosen because the Quaker faith is projected the values of honesty, integrity, purity, and strength.
Is it?
Yeah, because some people think it's William Penn.
Oh.
Or Benjamin Franklin.
No one thinks that, but
no
you.
one. No one at all. Benjamin Franklin never wore that hat.
Wait,
okay?
if you do an internet search,
For Benjamin Franklin eating oatmeal.
illustrated, it will look like the Quaker Oats guy.
I don't know about that, Sarah.
Right.
Or Wilfred Brimley.
All right, more food. They're mostly food related, to be honest. KFC, the Colonel, real
Oh,
fake.
of course, real. Of course he's real, Sarah. Don't look at me like that.
Yes, the Colonel is a real man. His name was Harland Sanders, and he was dubbed the Colonel after he became successful in like he had he first owned I was reading his little biography. Because we have these biographies.
Was he a real colonel?
No, he wasn't
No,
an
he just
army
made that
colonel.
up, yeah.
He was dubbed by the lieutenant governor,
Oh, okay.
colonel, gave him that. So then he kind of leaned into the whole thing.
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, so he was real. Homer, the famous poet, real or not real?
I'm gonna say real.
Maybe not.
What? Who says?
A PhD. The famous poet, supposed writer of the iconic literary works, the Odyssey and the Iliad, may not have existed at all, argue scholars. They believe Homer was created out of a cultural need for an author for these Greek myths, great Greek myths.
Mm-hmm.
The works were possibly written much earlier than scholars originally believed and compiled by many authors across time through oral traditions. So there you go.
And someone just said, "Oh, let's name him Homer."
Yeah.
Yes.
No, there's really a Homer.
Well, actually, that is kind of a weird Greek name.
Well,
Of all the names, let's go with Homer. Right? This is really.
Not enough consonants. All right, 2 cookie-related ones.
okay.
Mrs. Fields and Famous Amos.
I already know
Okay.
this.
Yeah. Famous Amos is an actual person.
Yes.
Yes. From Long Island, I believe. Right.
Yes. I went to my school.
No,
And-
he was born down south and then he lived with his aunt in New York City.
Okay. But they were based in Long Island, weren't they? Famous
I
Amos
think
at one
so.
point.
Yeah.
So that's a real gentleman. I've seen him on TV.
Yeah.
Mrs. Fields, though, I'm going to guess no.
Oh, she's real.
She's real?
Debbie. All Debbie. We have her biography right here.
Debbie Fields.
Miss Debbie Fields.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know who else is real? It's on the back of this book. I was like, get out of here. Get out of town. So there is a real Totino. Rose Totino. The Totino's pizza roll-ups.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome.
Totino. She's a real lady. Rose. I was like, wow. That's crazy. All right. So, yes, Mrs. Fields, real lady, and Famous Amos. Wally Amos still alive.
Oh, is he still alive? That's
I think he
great.
was an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Turned cookie person.
Nice.
Sal, you're a Disney person. Have you seen Newsies?
I haven't seen Newsies, no.
Oh my
What?
God, that is
I haven't.
offensive.
I know, isn't it offensive?
Even
Is that-
I saw New
That's
Newsies.
Alan Menken, isn't it? Alan Menken? Is
I
that
don't know.
I just know it's the same choreographer that did High School Musical
okay?
a number of years later, and Christian Bale's,
Breakout roles.
Yes. And so, did you know that his breakout role as Jack Kelly is based on a real person? It's a real Kid Blink, and they really did unionize against the newspapers.
Really?
Yes, they did. So, if for all the other Newsies fans out there, I didn't know that Jack Kelly was real. So, yeah. So, those are some famous people that were real and some that you thought were real that were not real. And then we have a lot of biographies. Biographies are a very popular section over on the J side. A lot of school projects, but also a lot of kids just get interested in someone. And then they're like, do I have books on? So they all have their own little biographies over there as well.
I think that carries over into older age, and I feel like if I'm doing a search, like a random search on the web,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 is to find out about a person, not a thing. Is that do you feel that way?
No.
No, I
don't know.
I-
It's always a thing.
no, I just search
You
anything.
search whatever you feel like.
The mind of Sarah.
No, I don't really look for people.
So let me ask you this. Speaking of searching, let me ask you this. Speaking of searching, do you when you watch a film?
Oh,
How often do you go to Internet Movie Database?
Every single time.
Right?
I can't even enjoy the movie.
Right?
Yeah. Not really. The movie, the TV show, I can't enjoy.
It depends.
Like I love the trivia on there. Like that for me is like, after you see
When
the
I
movie,
go to, so you go for trivia.
Mhm.
What do you go for?
Just to see what else I know them from.
Yeah, a lot of times I'm like, I know that person.
Yeah.
Weren't they in blah blah blah? And
Yeah.
then it becomes like a
Yeah.
competition of now they're from here, no they're from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you do with Rocky.
Yeah.
You're like, Rocky, guess where they're from? And I'm like, Steve, guess where they're from?
Yeah.
And like you say, Nicole, you really can't enjoy the movie at that point because now you're just looking at Internet Movie Database.
Yeah. That's all I do. You have to pause. Sometimes, you really do have to pause it. Like, I have to go back.
Well, if you're watching on Prime, since Internet Movie Database,
Oh, the
is
X-ray
Amazon,
thing.
the X-ray thing will come.
But I don't like
I
that.
don't like that.
Yeah, because it's not. Sometimes the photos aren't good. I'm like, what
No.
that photo is like.
It's a different. That's not the point. So, like, that's not,
Yeah.
like, that is not the point. The point is to go to IMDb
Uh-huh.
and find it. I don't want it to be up on the.
Sometimes I
two
like to
different things.
spoil it for myself. Because if it's a series, I'm like, all right, what's just like, I'm getting patient. I'm like, well,
Get to the end.
Yeah, so then I'll look up the summary for each episode.
And that doesn't bother you?
What?
Yes, I know.
Are you
That's
the type,
crazy.
Are you the type of person to listen to read the last page of a book or the ending of a book?
No.
Wait, but so it's a show that you don't like?
No, it could be a show I like, but I just want to know.
Oh, I don't. I always get nervous to look too because sometimes it'll be like you'll look at the actors and it's like from 19 from like 2020 to 2022, but the show is still going.
Yeah.
So you're like, no, they died. Ah.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. If it's like a thriller or something like that with a curveball or whatever, I won't do it. But if it's like a comedy or I don't know, something where it's not like suspenseful, whatever. Yeah. I do that with horror movies a lot.
Okay.
Because I want to know, like, one, is it worth it to keep going? And two, like, I don't like, what's the word, torture movies,
Yeah,
I'm not going to say what the full term is for it.
Yeah.
But I don't like those kind of movies, so I like, if it looks like it's going that way, I'll look and see what the summary is, and I'll be like, oh...
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to see that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Internet movie database can also be very depressing. Like you're seeing a movie like from your childhood and you're like, oh, I wonder if that person's still alive. Oh, no, they died 3 years ago.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Well, you look for the actor and then you're
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, oh. And then there's other things you're like, oh, my goodness, they're still alive. They got to be like 100 years old.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you so much to both of you. And thank you, all of you out there, for listening. If you want to listen to older episodes or read our show notes, you know where to go. mcplpodcast.com, blog.mcplpodcast.com. Please go there or else Sarah's going to stop doing it and it's going to be like 3 months old. And we're gonna be like, oh, look, there's 3 months old.
No, it's just going to turn into like Sarah's blog.
Exactly.
We're like, today I had a great sandwich.
Exactly. So definitely go there and visit there. And if you want to email us, we'd love to hear from you. podcast@mcplibrary.org. So for Sarah Fade and Nicole Rambo, I'm Sal DiVincenzo. We'll see you on the next show.